Welcome to For Good Measure, an interview series celebrating diverse composers and other creative artists. I'm Nanette McGuinness, Artistic Executive Director of Ensemble for these times. In this week's episode, we continue our Da Capo Conversations, a mini-series where we'll be giving familiar segments a topical twist. Today we revisit Sage Shurman's and Madeline Clara Cheng's perspectives on what being a composer means to them. Here's what Sage Shurman had to say.
I think, like I said earlier, the thing about storytelling is really important to me. And I think, I think making things is very, making things that can be appreciated on such, a broad scale by so many people. You don't need a certain skill set to be able to appreciate music. You could just, live it and be with it. And that's that idea of accessibility is important to me too, and trying to expand the scope of the classical music audience, because I think what's so special about music is it's a universal language, or and I think that we can try to do a better job of getting the audiences
Yeah.
beyond what
Just
what they currently are.
Here's what Madeline Clara Cheng had to say.
So I feel like as a composer, you're really in a unique position where it's primed for creativity and collaboration. You get a really special look into the behind the scenes of it all. It's this cool intersection where you get to work with performers inherently. You have to be workshopping your piece, you have to be working with them, especially on new collaborations and new commissions where you want to make sure it's something that they enjoy playing as well.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, exactly. You get to work with arts administrators, with venue managers, conductors, ensemble managers, everyone who's part of getting to make this happen. And you get to work, of course, with so many other creatives who are part of the bigger picture, especially I'm in a lot of the theater spaces as well, especially at my school. I'm really into a lot of interdisciplinary work. So it happens to be that you have to work with people who do the scenic design, people who stage manage. It kind of all plays together in this bigger artistic picture, especially when you're doing a lot of the interdisciplinary work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or I got to work with some dancers this year, and it wasn't what I first expected, which was more you write a piece and they choreograph to it. We were both basically writing the piece together, even though they didn't have a ton of musical background. They had a lot of creative input into the
Mm-hmm.
music, and in turn, when they got to choreograph, I got to watch them be like, oh, but I feel like, this, I really like to see this part of the music hit a little bit more. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a truly collaborative process. Same deal when I got to work with an animator, with a film director for the first time, scoring their piece, and she had so much musical intuition, and it's so fascinating to see how different artists approach music and how they listen to it, because they all describe it in such different ways, and it's fun. They use a lot of metaphors, a lot of things that are more familiar to them, but
Mm-hmm.
it's very exciting to create that work. And especially when creating music and creating pieces meant for live performers, you're just creating this living, breathing piece. And I think that writing music or creating any art really is such a meaningful way to make impactful work that, lives on long after you're gone.
Thank you for listening to For Good Measure's Da Capo Conversations, and a special thank you to our guests for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast by clicking on the subscribe button, and support us by sharing it with your friends, posting about it on social media, and leaving us a rating and a review. To learn more about E4TT, our concert season online and in the Bay Area, or to make a tax-deductible donation, please visit us at www.e4tt.org. This podcast is made possible by grants from the California Arts Council, the San Francisco Arts Commission, Grants for the Arts, and generous donors like you. For Good Measure is produced by Nanette McGuinness and Ensemble for these times, and designed by Brennan Stokes, with special thanks to co-producer and audio engineer Stephanie M. Neumann. Remember to keep supporting equity in the arts, and tune in next week for Good Measure.